Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Kwanzaa and Happy New Year. If you were here the first week of December, you may remember we kind of began thinking about the new year, and it was called Name Your Year. It's useful to name your year. It's like having the title of a book you're going to write first, and the book will be the experience that we create in 2019. So we all know that a clean wound is necessary if you're going to put a Band-Aid on it, right? You got to clean it up first. So we can't expect to have a really big vision for 2019 and not be confronted with unhealed parts of us. Now, here's the truth. Everybody has unhealed parts. Some of them are deeper than others, but they're all healable. They all can be let go. And we can replace them with a vision for our life that lifts us, guides us, moves us in a new direction. So I saw this on Facebook. This is really cool because everybody has their issues. And they said, what if what you are now going through is preparation for the fulfillment of your heart's desire? See, I think it's all preparation. Because I really believe what Ernest Holmes, the founder of this teaching, said, life is always for us and never against us. I do not believe that any human being consciously chooses destructive behavior. I believe it wells up from the unhealed parts of themselves. But in some way, if we pay attention, it's serving us. That we can grow from it. We can move beyond it and open up, clean up that space for something new to come in. But it's got to be addressed. Oftentimes when we look back over our lives, we see that what we thought was the worst thing that ever happened turned out to be the most significant thing that ever happened to us. As Emerson said, life does not move in a straight line. It zigzags like a sailboat catching the wind. So if we wring out the old, which is the title of my talk today, and seriously want to ring in the new, we'd better be prepared to change our mind about a few things. And we better be prepared to allow old hurt feelings to dissolve, to be brave. Say this out loud. I just thought of this now. I am brave.
I am brave.
It reminds me of when my grandson Alec, who's now 26, was 2, his first Halloween, and they had this really spooky house in their neighborhood with the spiders hanging down. And my daughter says, as Alec was walking up to the house, he was saying, I am a very brave boy. I am a very brave boy. So let's be brave and courageous. It takes a little courage to unravel the psyche, but it is not so difficult when you have a vision of yourself as a spiritual being in this human experience, that you have a potential that's beyond anything you've ever done with it, right? So who we are is greater than anything we've ever done, anything we've ever thought. And what we're doing now at this time, at the end of the year, is rethinking who we are and resetting some vision and some goals with the agreement that when we have a big idea for how we intend to live in 2019, it's going to require something of us to achieve it. So I want you to say something out loud, see how it feels. I intend to make 2019 the best year of my life so far. Okay? How did that feel? Yeah, you feel some energy? Because who are we if not conscious beings capable of making intentions? We do it all the time. We don't always do it so consciously. It's not about hoping, it's not about wanting, it's about intention. A young man who wrote a book called Purposeful Life, Jake Ducey, said, and this, you'll like this, he said, we plan our vacations more consciously than we plan our lives. In the long run, it is easier to build the life you love than to escape from one you don't want. Isn't that fun? We take great care planning our vacations, right? To get away from the life we're living, but what about building a life? Can we build a life? If that may sound too conscious for some people who say, well, where's all the magic? A lot of people would rather wait to see what happens, as if some magical being is picking each out for a surprise. Kind of doesn't work that way. It feels like it, but that's because we're prepared. That's because we've set some intention to be open to surprises. But the key to building our life is that the magic will be there if our vision is greater than the life we're living now. Now, this doesn't mean to let go of everything in our life. It means to let go of those ideas that are prohibiting us from expanding the good in our life. It's not replacing everything, it's expanding. So you're in a relationship. Wouldn't you like it to be even more loving, more joyful, more compatible, more playful, sexier? Oh, come on. I just threw that out to see if you were listening. Of course we would. So this isn't about trashing things. It's about expansion. And it's about extension. And that's, when I think about our being, I think of that we are extensions of Spirit, or God, if you will, if you like that word. That we're here to extend the experience of being, and we're here to bring the qualities of Spirit into our visible life, and thereby making the world a better place, making life more joyful, more prosperous, making our bodies healthier and happier and lit up. I think we all want to be lighter, yes? And we want that light to come from within. It doesn't just happen. Once in a while it gets triggered, but it doesn't happen for the most part unless we turn it on. And we turn it on with bigger ideas. So we're something more than a stream of experiences. I remember one time someone said to me, life is more than one event after another strung together. Life is a constant now, and it's a constant consciousness on the move. You and I are constant in the moment. Our perception is constant. So our intention then is the device. It's a device to keep us moving in the direction of fulfillment. So you've all heard of the be, do, have model. Everybody knows that in New Thought spirituality. That first you have to be it, then you can do it, and then you have it, right? So what will you be in 2019? What is your intention to be in 2019? A joyful presence, a prospering presence. I intend to be more of me than I've ever been before. And that's very open-ended because I don't really know everything that I could be. Neither do you, right? So what do we intend to be? And therefore, what would we be doing? So if we think of it as a both and, think of what you would be doing, and then ask yourself, well, who do I have to be to do it? Someone might say, well, I intend to be traveling the world. Who do you have to be to do that? Is it the same sense of self you have now? It's not a different person, but the same sense of self that we have now? Or does that need expanding? Of course it does. We always need to expand. So has your current self-identity got you where you really want to be yet, so far? Or have you been shortchanging yourself? Ernest Holmes said, an effect must partake of the cause. So, first of all, we are an effect of a cause set in motion by a universal intelligence spirit, God. We're the effect, and so we partake of its nature. We partake of the nature of spirit. That's who we really are. Second, the effects in our life partake or reflect the nature of the cause that we set in motion. And that's why we want to create a bigger cause, which is what an intention is. An idea, a vision. Everybody needs a personal vision for their life, beyond goals, but a vision for opening up. First cause is always I am. So the effects in our life, our relationships, our bank accounts, our physical health, everything in our inner peace or not, is reflecting the nature of the cause that we set in motion by our constant repetition of I am, and we add things onto it, and it becomes the cause that our effects reflect. So a spiritualized mind knows this and starts there. It's not about what we want, it's about who we are. And the most striking example that I have seen lately of a being who knows exactly who he is a great white egret that has been holding sway on the grounds of my apartment building for about a week. He's all white. He's got a wingspan like this. He walks around. You know, their knees are backwards. So it makes a whole thing. He's like, he folds his wings and he puts his neck up like E.T., like 3 feet, and then he goes. And then he looks, and then he goes back. And sometimes he stops at these sliding glass windows on the patio of this apartment across from me and just looks in. And then he goes up and flies and stands on the top of the roof across the way on one leg and grooms himself. This is how we should be. Seriously. He knows who he is. He knows what he can do. It reminds me of the 70s. There used to be this great poster. I actually had this on my old website. But it was a flock of seagulls flying, and it said, they can because they think they can. It's their nature. And so flying is an effect of their nature. They don't question it. It's innate. It's instinctual. It's in them. We question our nature all the time, and we say, I am who I am because of what happened to me in the 3rd grade, what happened to me in high school, what happened to me in my last marriage or my first marriage or this one. We keep redefining ourselves in limited ways according to what we've experienced. Spirituality, New Thought spirituality, is about stepping way back from that and rethinking. This is the basic message of our teaching, is constantly reclaiming who we are. And he was just a great example to me of what's possible when you know who you are. So I have named my year, and I changed it. It just arose in me the other night. I named my year the Year of Compassionate Service. I have no idea what that means. But I know my intention is to create a deeper meaning to my ministry. I love teaching, I love building community, but there's a deeper something that wants to happen through me because of the teaching and my experience, and it has something to do with a deeper compassionate service in the world. It will pull me into it. When I was on the Association for Global New Thought Leadership Council, we planned many conferences, and one of them, the title was Pushed by Pain or Pulled by a Vision. Wouldn't you rather be pulled than pushed? Yeah, pulled by a vision means the idea itself will pull us into its fulfillment. The idea itself is the cause, and we will partake of the effects. And the first effects we will feel will be our own resistance or our own fear. You know, I always say, if your idea doesn't scare you, it is not big enough. It means you've already done it. So we should be a little like, oh, you know, I used to say that. Real life is not like, real life is like, whoa. It's like riding a wave, a big wave, right? It's like a roller coaster. We should be. But you can always right yourself. But be aware that something's not happening to us. It's trying to come through us. And it can be as much fun as we want it to be. It can be as on point as we want it to be. As long as we remember, we're creating it. We're the intention. And the intention has our highest good in mind. It really does. Spirit has our highest good in mind. So I invite you to stay after today to talk with me about this, how to set a bigger intention for your year. We're going to explore some possibilities. But before we do treatment, I want to read you a poem by Tennyson, which I think is really wonderful for today. He wrote, "Ring out, wild bells, to the wild sky, the flying cloud, the frosty light. The year is dying in the night. Ring out, wild bells, and let him die. Ring out the old, ring in the new. Ring happy bells across the snow. The year is going. Let him go. Ring out the false, ring in the true. Ring out old shapes of foul disease. Ring out the narrowing lust of gold. Ring out the 1,000 years of old. Ring in the 1,000 years of peace. Ring in the valiant man or woman and free, the larger heart, the kindlier hand. Ring out the darkness of the land. Ring in the Christ that is to be. And that Christ is this whole self, the illuminated self, the lit up mind, the joyful presence. That's the Christ. And it's the Christ that knows who he or she is and what is possible. And that's where we want to go with this end of the year, is just let it go. It was such a great song that she sang from Frozen. It sounds so easy, just let it go. But we have to really realize we're here now. Say it out loud. I am here now.
I am here now.
I have no past.
I have no past.
Not really. Those,
Not really.
Okay, those are just... You can repeat everything. Wouldn't that be a cool way to do a talk? Just repeat everything the teacher said. Okay. We said this last week. Memories are moving pictures in our mind. When I was 7, I saw a moving picture that scared me. It was Frankenstein. Now when I see it, it doesn't do anything to me, right? I let it go. So the past is nothing but a collection of images that have no power in this moment unless we put I am in front of them. So just look at it all and say, thank you, it was good, it was very good. I didn't like some of it, but it's okay. I'm here now. Say it again. I am here now.
I am here now.
Whole and complete.
Whole and complete.
Nothing has ever happened to me.
Nothing has ever happened to me.
But God is always trying to come through me. It is. This is the message we have for the world. This is the message that could change the world. People realize they are their own God. Let's go into treatment. Terry? Beginning as we always do by recognizing this. First cause is God knowing itself as I am. Spirit, the universal mind, the unified field of intelligence, the quantum realm of beingness, however you name it. One something being all, being everything, alive within and all around, up, down, in and out. We are immersed in it. We are surrounded by it. We are saturated with it. This thing called love. And so this morning, we choose to set an intention to bring forth that reservoir of love that we have inside of us, that knows who they are. We set everything aside and truly focus on this now moment of absolute infinite possibility. And we say, I can because I know I can. I can expand love in all my relationships and all my life. I can be more compassionate. I can be kinder. I can be softer. I can be stronger. And we give ourselves over to the whole energy of setting something in motion. So let's realize this morning that there truly are no limits, that no idea is too big, that no vision is beyond completion or fulfillment. And that we are always setting a new cause in motion. So name your year. Make it wonderful. And know, life is always for us, never against us. And as Ernest Holmes said, there is a power for good in this universe. It is available to everyone, and you use it. And I say, you use it when you think, you use it when you feel, you use it when you intend, when you image, when you set something in motion. We are using the same power that created the universe. And this is the gift we give ourselves at the end of 2018, is this awareness. And we let it have its way with us. We let it lead us, guide us, direct us, push us, pull us, take us somewhere we've never been. And we do it with great cheerful anticipation, expectation, and gratitude for those of us who support one another, for this teaching and all who have brought it forth into this moment, for Spirit itself. We let it be as we let it go, beginning right now. And so it is.